So, despite 2020 containing absolutely no Nintendo Directs, bar the Mario one, 2021 has had quite a bit more, albeit more than zero is still quite a bit more than what we had in 2020. So, one is to expect that the next year will also contain quite a few Nintendo Directs, so let us discuss exactly which ones. Of course, there's likely to be one in the start of the year, which is what we're going to be talking about today. There's probably going to be one during E3, probably one September, Octoberish time, and if we're lucky, maybe one a bit later, who knows? Sometimes there's directs nestled nicely in between January and the Game Awards, sometime in Marchish. There's of course, Nindie Directs, or as they're called, Indie Worlds. I don't like that name nearly as much. And Pokemon Directs, which I will never watch because they suck. We have to take into account that there might be partner showcases or those type of weird things which we had in 2020, which I don't want to talk about that, those were very dark times. So yeah, but let's talk about the one that I am quite sure will happen, the start of the year direct. Now, what's gonna happen in the start of the year direct? First of all, we should talk about what major games, will be releasing next year. As of now, this could change due to delays. Well, some of the later ones can change due to delays. Pokemon Legends Arceus, releasing within, is it January, February? Within the first 3 months-ish. Bayonetta 3, Advance Wars 1+2, Reboot Camp, a remake of a GBA title, or 2 GBA titles. A very good one at that. Triangle Strategy, a sequel to Octopath Traveler. Once again, this is going to be, guys, we're going to change to a better name later on, guys. Oh, we haven't thought of a new one, and this name's kind of recognizable, and you know what, we'll just keep it. It's gonna look very pretty, probably. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which I think is gonna come within at least the first half of the year. Splatoon 3, which to me feels like a, summer, maybe moving more into autumn type game. Dying Light 2, Stay Home. No, not Stay Home. Yeah, Stay Human, actually. Cloud version. I don't know why this is here. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which is a expansion pack, but like a pretty hefty one. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, something I am really excited for. I loved the original Mario and Rabbids. It is the only good Mario RPG on Switch, not including Paper Mario 64, because, that's just a old title being put on there, not an entirely new one. So I'm really excited for the sequel. I hope Waluigi's in it. We got Waluigi in the last game, albeit it was Rabbid Waluigi, but, we got him in the last game. And finally, Breath of the Wild 2. Now, you know what? Looking at all that, that's a pretty decent year, for me. I've got a sequel to Splatoon, which, I quite enjoy. Mostly it's campaigns I enjoy, not so much the online, but I still play it a wee bit. The sequel to, let's be honest, probably my favorite game on Switch, not including, cross-platform titles, because if that was the case, then it'd be Minecraft. And Breath of the Wild 2, which, on my most recent playthrough of Breath of the Wild, I really enjoyed, so I'm quite excited for this. Smaller games I might release, we might finally see Hollow Knight Silksong. See, it's funny, because we won't be seeing that. Ever. It's never releasing. Stop kidding yourself, we're never getting it. We'll also be getting Banjo-Kazooie in January, as well as maybe more titles. So, now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about what will be revealed in the January, February, start of the year direct. So, every good direct has a strong beginning, a big announcement in the middle, and its big announcement for the end. So, what will these 3 things be, and what stuff will be, stuffed in between them? So, thinking that this will be before Pokemon Arceus release, I think it will start off with the trailer for that, revealing more information about it. I haven't been following the game at all, so maybe it's already revealed everything that it can, but still. If it doesn't have a big section, then it will have at least, little like 2-minute video saying, oh look, it came out, buy it. That's the same if this direct takes place after the game releases. So it will begin with either that, or begin with a Kirby and the Forgotten Land, is that the title? Yeah, it'll begin with that. Showing off more details, maybe some story stuff, that kind of deal. Showing how the game will work. Is it like proper open world type thing, like Breath of the Wild? Is it little different worlds split up, like say, I don't know, Mario Odyssey? What exactly is happening with it, Now, the big announcement in the middle of Direct is usually not something new. It's building off of something that has already came out, or it's like DLC, something like that. So, my theory is that we will be seeing another addition to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, because as of now, all it has is Animal Crossing DLC, which, while a lot of people own Animal Crossing, isn't the most useful for a lot of people, and overexpensive N64 game, as well as an overexpensive Genesis collection, which, let's be honest, that's probably the reason why this thing costs so much, is because it included the Genesis, and they had to get the rights to distribute that, even though you can already buy Genesis games on the Switch in a bunch of different collections, or you could do the smarter thing and buy it on PC, so you can, you know, rip the files out, and then put it into any emulator that you want, so you can have it running quote-unquote perfectly, or put mods in, just anything. So what thing will be added into Switch Online? Now, this could be anything. It could either be a pretty hefty DLC title for something, or, what I personally hope for, a new system. Now, if we were to be getting a new system at 10 SO, Nintendo Switch Online, whatever you want to call it, it's probably going to be Game Boy, which I don't care about, to be honest. Game Boy Advance, now, that has Mario and Luigi on it. Albeit, one of my least favorite Mario and Luigis, but like, you know, still Mario and Luigi. I will take any form of Mario and Luigi on the Switch at this point. Even that god-awful, you know, smelly, horrible excuse for a remake that was on the 3DS, which I will not name. This will then release, you know, sometime April, March, and then about then. It will also discuss new titles that have been added to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, you know, that they've already shown off before, like Banjo-Kazooie is being added in January, as well as revealing a handful more, so they will reveal 2 for the N64, this being Smash 64 and Majora's Mask, 2 very strong titles. These will also release within March, April, that general time, as well as a handful of Genesis games, which I don't care about. Now, sometimes during a Direct they'd reveal a game from a smaller franchise, not like, say, Metroid, which, while it is a smaller franchise and gets sales, its impact is quite large. I mean something like a new Mario sports title, or, you know, Big Brain Academy, something like that. So, I'm predicting a Mario sports game, but not just any Mario sports game. No, a new Mario Strikers. Now, Nintendo bought Next Level Games quite a while ago now, so they're going to be working on something. Now, personally, I'd rather be like a remake of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. You know, that game looks great, put it on the Switch, give it the same graphics as 3, it'd be amazing. This new title will feature more characters, 1 or 2 gameplay alterations, but will mostly stay the same and will release sometime during summer. Now, to end the Direct off strong, they're once again going to show Splatoon. They will go more in-depth into the modes, there being 3 brand new ones, as well as explaining how this brand new campaign will be larger than the Octo expansion and the ones from 1 and 2. I mean, Octo expansion was bigger than 1 and 2, so that's kind of redundant to say, but still. And will feature a brand new villain, a bunch of new tracks, and will change the way that the world works. So instead of being a bunch of segmented bits, it's instead a lot more interconnected. There will still be the segmented bits in the level type structure, but it'll be a lot more, you know, stuck together, making more of a world than the first and second game's campaign, and even the Octo expansion did. So now, let's move on to E3 2022. Now, for the lead up to this, I will be making a bunch of videos like I did this year, which I actually quite enjoyed doing. You know, it gave me a lot of experience in making these garbage videos and made me better at it, and yeah, it's pretty good. So, I will be making that leading up to it. I will predict many a thing, including Mario and Luigi, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, Nintendo E3s usually contain a little bit more larger titles than the average Nintendo Direct, so of course I will be talking about 2 or 3 being announced here. Now, depending on if I'm right about Splatoon 3's release or not, we will either be seeing, you know, a generic trailer for it showing a couple footage that we've already seen to say it's out, or what I just said, but to say it's coming out soon. This will be shortly after a reveal of more information about Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, because we don't know all too much about that game. We saw a little bit of this new battle system, which is still like how the first one's was, but seems a lot less grid-based, which is good. It will detail story elements, it will show off how there are more characters in this game than there were in the last title, and revealing 1 or 2 of those characters, but still leaving 2 ones up to the imagination, and they'll only be revealed in the game itself, so That's cool. These two characters being Wario and Waluigi. I really want this to be right. You know, Wario and Waluigi, I really do like these characters. I want to see them in more games. Wario has his own series, Waluigi has nothing. So, you know, seeing him in more titles would be pretty good. It'll talk about a little bit more of the story, a little bit more of the gameplay, just everything you generally expect to see. It'll show off more than one area, it'll show off how you can go to different planets or something, I don't know. And it will be releasing in October. After this, we'll see the previously discussed Pokemon Arceus trailer, you know, a couple indie titles, that kind of deal. And then we'll have two back-to-back, decently sized announcements. One is the announcement of Game Boy Advance titles, which I will be ecstatic about, because, you know, Mario and Luigi game on Switch. As well as more information about Breath of the Wild 2. Now, this one will finally give us the proper title. People will still call the game Breath of the Wild 2 due to how simple it is instead of Breath of the Wild, Ganon smells a fart or something, but still. They'll talk a little bit more about the story, which, you know, once we see that part, we will then know exactly why the title can be revealed to us. But there will be a bit of a sad announcement part of it, that the game will be delayed to early 2023. Fans will be very annoyed at this, I will be kinda annoyed at this, and everyone will generally be down about it. The Direct will then trudge along, announcing a couple other small things. In the middle of this, there will be an announcement of a new Mario and Luigi game. Yes, please. I know I've said this for like 3 years straight now, but I'm gonna be right this time. We will also see the announcement of a brand new Donkey Kong title. This has been stated by leakers for quite a long time. We've got people who have been asking for a new one for quite a while. You know, there's a lot of evidence pointing towards there being a new one, so screw it, we'll put an announcement for it here. Yeah. There'll be a couple more announcements before but there's one last thing, which will be the announcement of Mario Odyssey 2. People have been theorizing that this game will release for ages now. Ever since we didn't get any DLC for Mario Odyssey, people have been assuming that yes, we will be getting a sequel instead. Maybe that initially they planned to make proper levels. I mean, you know, we got new costumes like Zombie Mario and like a festive one, so maybe they had plans to make new worlds to go along with these, but instead decided to push those into a new title. In this, it will be revealed that the two-player mode will feature Luigi, but will also allow you to toggle between them. And even though it pains me that Waluigi will not be playable, I'm sorry, I'll still be happy to know that Luigi is an option. Bowser will not be the main villain of this title, strangely enough. However, midway through the game, he will join up with the big bad because, you know, Mario kinda left him on the moon, so he wants to get revenge. The game will go for a decently different approach. Looking at what Bowser's Fury did, it will have a interconnected world where you explore different parts, not by, you know, using an airship. No. You unlock more and more abilities, kind of. Collecting moons now instead of moons, it'll be something else, increases Cappy's power, which allows you to capture different creatures. And then this will be the way that the game opens up, so before you wouldn't be able to capture bob-ombs, now you will. You can blow up a wall, ta-da, you've just reached a new area. That kind of deal. You'll have one main island with a town and where the big bad will be at the very top of some mountain, and a couple other islands around it which aren't nearly as big, containing other wee bits and bobs. The game will be slated for also an early 2023 release, which is going to be interesting to a lot of people. It'll arise many suspicion that yes, we'll be receiving a brand new Switch iteration next year. These theories will then be answered by October, saying that yes, there will be a new Switch iteration. Not a Switch Pro, a new Switch iteration. The Switch has been around since 2017, so they'll be announcing this on its, 5.5 year anniversary, and that it'll be releasing at near the start of 2023, which will be roughly the Switch's 6th anniversary. They'll announce that it will be stronger, obviously, have refined Joy-Cons, but allow you to connect your old Joy-Cons and old Pro controllers to it, and as well as having backwards compatibility with the Switch. There will be, you know, Switch Pro exclusive titles for it, however, those won't be, you know, made for the first roughly 6 months of the system being out. The refined Joy-Cons will be described to have better motion control, rumble, all that, as well as being less drift resistant, so that there's going to be even more drift on it. No, there'll just be no drift, or at least they say so. We won't be able to tell till the next year. We will then see a September Nintendo Direct, which will, mostly focus on games we already know are going to come out. It'll show off, oh look, here is a bunch of that. Here's some new information about the Mario & Luigi game. Here's a little bit more info on the Mario & Rabbids that just came out, how we're adding DLC, that kind of deal. As well as revealing 1 or 2 major titles for next year. I lack the imagination to think of what these will be though. Why not Mario Kart 9 and a new 2D Zelda, sure, why not? It's been genuine years since the last one of those on home console that wasn't a remake. Like seriously, to go off on a tangent for a second, we have not seen a new home console 2D Zelda, excluding remakes, since Link to the Past. Link to the bloody past. Like, most of the people watching this bloody video aren't even older than that game. And, if we're just looking at since the last original one, it was like Oracle of Ages on the Game Boy, you know? Like the standard one. Of course we could include Four Swords, but that's its own different thing. Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass are also quite different, and as much as I love Link Between Worlds, that game does reuse the map from, Link to the Past, and shares quite a lot of similarities with it. So I really do hope that we do see a new one of these, but yeah. Then we'll have the Game Awards. Nintendo will be unfairly not picked for anything, except for like Family Awards or something. It won't be given Best Music, anything like that. They won't announce anything, they'll have a little blooper reel. Oh look, here's some footage of Breath of the Wild 2, here's some Mario Odyssey, here's Mario Kart that we've already seen. And then the year will end, and I'll make another one of these videos. So yeah, there is my predictions for it. Will they be wrong? Very likely, yes. The thing with the Breath of the Wild delay is that leakers have been saying that's going to happen, so it can coincide with the new system, with the new Switch, which will come out in 2023. So, maybe it's true, I don't know. A new Odyssey makes too much sense, just any form of new Mario in general, we're bound to see one. Mario Kart 9, this is another thing that I think only works if the Switch 2 comes out in 2023, because, a new Mario Kart for the system will be great, because we haven't seen a new Mario Kart since 2015. It's just been Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again and again. The Mario & Luigi prediction, I just really want a new one, At this point, 2019 was the last title that we have received, and it sucked, so it'll have been 4 years since the last one. Now, Mario & Luigi games only take roughly 2 years of development, 2 or 3, so even if it doesn't release in 2022, I could very well see an announcement for it if one has been worked on. Because, let's say Nintendo didn't really hand out the franchise to anyone for about a year, or was mucking about, or not sorting it out till a year, so the start of a new one didn't start till early 2020. That would still leave them with, from when I predicted the announcement would be, like 1.5 years. And 1.5 years of development means that they would have something to show for it. It literally makes no sense not to make a new Mario & Luigi because of how well the series is sold, how well the series has gotten praise. I mean, sure, the latest 3 kinda fell off, plus ratio, but that's because one was a completely redundant remake, one was a really good remake that was sold around the time the Switch started, and one was incredibly generic with a good battle system, so the inclusion of more things in Nintendo Switch Online makes a lot of sense to me because, as of now, the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack is just not at all worth it, as has already been said. And I feel Nintendo knows this too, so that's why they're going to be putting more and more things onto there. Starting off, of course, with the original Game Boy, which is the last lame system they could really add to the thing. Because after that, then all they have left is Game Boy Advance, very nice. Wii, very nice. GameCube, very nice. DS. I would love the DS. That gives me, the best DS game, Bowser's Inside Story. And the second best Mario & Luigi game, Partners in Time. Well, Superstar Saga DX, and then Partners in Time, but still. So yeah, like this video so you can come back to it in a year's time and go, wow, you were so wrong, or wow, how did you get that all right? I kind of hope this is right, because that means a new Mario & Luigi, baby, woo! And a new Mario Odyssey, and Wario and Waluigi in Sparks of Hope. If you enjoyed this video and a couple other videos of mine, then please do consider subscribing. I make garbage like this all the time, other than when my computer broke. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.